having technical issues. Most of them revolve around cord shenanigans. It's fine. I'm so super professional about this stuff. Yeah, I'm not at all tipsy from earlier tonight. Shh, don't tell it. Don't tell anybody. But we will change that. Eventually, I will get to a nice, consistent buzz. Eventually, we'll see. And I also keep getting notified about shit happening on my phone. I thought I had this on Do Not Disturb, so this is a hassle. As per usual, your lovely co-host for me, Polydub, is late, so hopefully we'll hear from him in the next couple of minutes. But while we wait, everyone say hi to Eve.
Hi guys.
How's it going? We were working on getting guests on the show, and I had kept putting it off, but no more. Haha. Excuse me. I'm a pig. It's okay.
No, you're not. You're a piglet.
I'm a little bit of a pig.
You're too cute to be a pig, so you're just a piglet.
Oh my god, Eve, do you know what I forgot to do?
What?
I forgot to open up Streamlabs.
Did you?
Oopsies. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. And while I'm rambling, thank you to James Colley for donating to the Streamlabs, the first donation of the show. He says, all hail Weebo, may her lovely fertility reign in an infinite cycle. Lol. It's funny because I'm a woman and I have baby fever. Speaking of, I don't know how to transition this, but hi, Polly. How are you?
Hello.
There he is.
It's Eve. Eve, say hi.
Hi.
All right, Eve, you can go get your cocktail now.
Yes. Wait.
I told her she couldn't leave until Polly came on. Now she has to go get her cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are going to drink, so am I. I mean, It's only fair.
How you doing, Polly?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm already a little bit tipsy, so forgive me for my shenanigans if I have any.
All right.
But I'm in a really good mood, actually, because I met my first checkpoint for my senior project for computer science. So I'm super psyched about that.
Nice.
Yes. It's all good. It's all good fun. How are you? Like, how was your day? Was it good?
Yeah.
Good. And I was having such a crappy week, too, before. Like, the project started coming together. I mean, it did take me 7 hours to get it to work. But the reason why I was having such a crappy week is because I heard back from a job that I really wanted to get, that I didn't get the job. And that kind of really depressed me because people were hyping it up for me, too. They're like, oh, you're a shoo-in to get this job, Weebo. Like, we really want you here at our company, X. But apparently not enough to actually hire me at all. So there's that. And, it's funny because I always tell you that the job market is really good for people in my field, right? Everyone wants someone who can code. You always got to learn to code. That's how you secure a job in these United States. Learn to code. Well, guess what? I learned how to code and I'm still struggling. So what does that say? Sad face. No comment?
Oh, I just thought there was more to follow. I'm just kind of like, go on. I'm listening.
Well, no, Polly, when I pause, I'm like, all right, I'm ready for some input from the peanut gallery. Also, why are there two of you? Oh, no, the other one's Eve. I forgot we had a guest. I'm having a rough day, apparently. So, hi, Chad. How are we? So, okay. Polly, do you have a cocktail this evening? I have a cocktail this evening.
I'm kind of violating the name of the stream. No, I don't have a cocktail. I have a tall can of Heineken.
Oh, okay. You have something to drink at least. I was about to be like, wait, how do I have alcohol and you don't?
Of course he should have alcohol.
It's Polly. I mean, what?
You have a Heineken. Eve, what do you have?
I have Midori mixed with Sprite, so.
It looks really green.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It looks
The Midori is super green.
Yeah. and I have an orange dreamsicle. This is my only cocktail that I will be drinking for the show. Because at 9:30, at 9:30 I have to, which is in an hour and a half, I have to go get food for Balik because Balik is sick and can't move, and he's. We should all give Balik the good feelings in the Discord if you're part of the Discord. Which, by the way, you should totally join the Discord. That's where we have funds and also talk about code.
Oh, you're talking about code? I'm going to be here for moral support again.
No, I'm kidding. We're not going to talk about code. I'm just saying, if you join the Discord, we give coding help, and we talk about the woes of this earth.
By give coding help, Weebo means she begs you all for coding help.
A second pair of eyes is never hurt. Speaking of a second pair of eyes, let me just go to my second pair of eyeballs. Oh no, wrong mouse. Hi guys. Let's go, Weebo. And the other cam. And thank you from Lion Patriot who donated to my Streamlabs to say this. Did you see the tomfoolery Happy Dude tagged you in on Twitter, Weebo? Yes, I did actually. And I'm super salty about it because Brittany Venti is another one of those bitches I don't like. And Brittany Venti stole the name of my original show with SDA. So, even though it doesn't exist anymore.
I have two thoughts. Happy Dude tagged you in something on Twitter?
Was it Happy Dude?
I just said Happy Dude. And I was like, really?
Yeah. It's Happy Dude.
Oh, interesting. So he tagged you in something about Brittany Venti. Interesting.
Why is that interesting?
No, it's just he doesn't. If it's H2O Happy Dude, my friend, he doesn't do the same circles of internet.
No. Happy Dude 77, the truck driver.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you meant my friend.
Happy Dude. I didn't know you knew a different Happy Dude.
Yeah, you met him.
Interesting.
Over on Minions, yeah.
Oh, that's right. But yeah.
No, that's why I was like, wait, what? Happy Dude? He tagged you in something?
All right. Which mouse is it? I can't. If you guys could see this, it would be hilarious for you. Second pair of eyes. Once again, hello, everybody. And thank you to James Colley for the donation and the super chat. Drunk Weebo code equals encoded.
I cannot take your ass seriously. Your little cuts, like. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your. God damn it!
See, it's different.
You're so goofy.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't say what cocktail I was drinking. Everyone, I am drinking. Fuck, what's it called?
An orange dreamsicle. You already did. What are you having blackouts? You already described it.
Yes. Did I?
Yes.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? Guys, I'm stroking out. I'm having a stroke.
You're stroking what now? I'm sorry. Wasn't paying attention.
I'm having a stroke. Wait. I said that already, right? I said it perfectly. Because, part of the stroking out is that half of your face is unable to do stuff, right? Until it ends up looking like this. And then you have trouble speaking, right? That's what stroking out means. And also you have problems doing everything else. Because it's like a blood clot in your brain. Right?
Yes. Stroking something, all right.
We are family friendly.
Am I supposed to be family? Am I supposed to be family friendly? I'm sorry.
I heard the first 10 minutes that you're supposed to be family friendly.
Are we though? All right, I'm mad because I'm looking for a lipstick that I know was here this morning. Where the fuck did it go?
Hey, Polly, I have a question.
Stop.
How's our collab doing?
It's not done yet.
It's not done yet.
So what collab is that, or can you say yet?
Oh no, we've talked about it multiple times, haven't we, Polly? Every stream since the holiday season.
Which one is that? Is it the?
It's the holiday special one.
Oh shit! You're still working on that one? No, I'm asking legitimately because I remembered you saying you'd finished it.
Did you?
Finished recording it.
Well.
Oh, my apologies. I misunderstood.
So I thought he was pulling my leg all this time. Just be like, haha, you know what is a good prank to pull on Weebo? Ask her to do a collaboration. Nag her for weeks and weeks and weeks to get on with you about this collaboration so we can do the thing. And then, never do anything with it. Ha! That would be a funny collab.
Wow. That's not exactly what happened, but okay.
No.
Polly says, I think you're misconstruing the truth there a little bit.
No, if you were to prank me, that would be a hilarious prank. I would have been got good. I'm just saying. Although I'd rather not deprive the audience of such brilliance as what we came up with for our collab. You know.
It was pretty brilliant.
It was, if I do say so myself. So Lion Patriot off in the chat asks, have I ever known sleep, Weebo? Actually, I didn't get I don't get a lot of good sleep here at school, and I think it's part of the reason is because everyone always makes noise. The other part of the reason is that bed behind me is the most uncomfortable thing that you have ever set your eyes upon. Another part of the reason is probably I feel like I'm perpetually sick, and I might have to pony up and say I might have allergies now. I never used to, but I keep sneezing for no reason, and it's not getting any better. It's not getting any worse though. So I'm not sick, but I keep sneezing. So does that mean I have allergies?
Yeah, I'd say you're allergic to something in that situation. I mean,
I'm allergic to bullshit.
Aren't we all?
Mood.
Well, I mean, except for Polly.
What does that mean?
I've never heard Polly sneeze once.
Really?
Yeah.
Polly, sneeze.
You can do it on command.
Yeah, I was gonna say on command. I can't.
Now.
No, I sneezed. I just usually get to the mute button. I usually feel sneezes coming on.
I'm pretty sure Polly's an alien who can't sneeze.
That's probably the truth.
I
don't know. I've never seen Polly's legs, so he could very well be an alien. That's how you know, guys. All right? They have 2 legs, human. If they have more or less than 2 legs, jury's out.
See, I've sort of seen Polly, but he's always wearing like a hoodie too. So he's always like, he says it's because it's cold. I don't believe him. I think he's trying to hide his alien features.
Totally.
It is winter.
Yeah.
A likely story. On your planet, maybe.
Actually, it has gotten a little bit warmer here, so it's not nearly as cold as it was last week. It's like 54 here.
Ah, damn.
In the middle of nowhere, Indiana.
That's what I get for putting lipstick on. Oh, well.
Polly has no nose. Polly, is this true?
There's obviously a nose right there in that picture.
Can we take this picture at face value, though?
It is an actual real-life picture of what Polly looks like.
Yeah. Wait. That's not a human, though.
You guys have seen me. Wasn't my prosthesis convincing?
No. How would you know if someone is an alien or not, though? Like, we can genuinely tell who's a computer versus who's not pretty well. But an alien is capable of, like, actual what we would traditionally associate as intelligence, theoretically, right? Because they have their own autonomy. So how would you be able to tell the difference between an alien and just a human?
That's a good ass question, actually. I'm not sure.
Just behavioral wise. Because humans behave all different manner of ways, right? So,
like, behavioral wise, it would really depend on the culture of said alien. I mean, wouldn't you think?
I don't know, maybe, perhaps.
Like, because if their culture is very similar to ours, behavior would be pretty much the same. And with some, I mean, there will always be some differences because nothing develops quite exactly the same way, you know?
Yeah. But are there like basic human behaviors that you would typically see in most humans that you would find strange if you didn't see them in this maybe alien person who looked like a human but didn't behave like one? Or do we just chalk them up to, oh, that person has a mental disorder, stick them in the loony bin, put
right? How do you
check it on them?
Like, what is sufficiently strange to say that this is not normal? This person is fully aware of their faculties and what they're doing, but you know, I think it'd have to be a case by case basis.
Yeah, Polly, do you have any idea?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about all the times I've seen movies where the alien's face gets ripped off and they're like a lizard person underneath. It's behaviorally, you only catch them eating rats. At any other time, they're pretty much completely human.
But like humans can eat rats too. I mean, I'm sure are a number of humans that have engorged themselves on rats in the past when it.
Yeah, but rarely does their 3-foot long tongue come out to suck them in, though.
Yeah, but
okay, that's an obvious tell. We're talking about just behavior.
Just behaviorally, like, are there any things inherent to humanity that would stick out if they weren't present in someone who is passing themselves off as human or an alien? Chat, this goes for you too. It's the alien Turing test. Can you tell?
Alien Turing test. Yeah, like I said, I think it would really depend on what what the behaviors are. I mean, like, there's a you know, the Jackbox games series. One of the more recent Jackbox games has a very similar concept game to this, where it's certain people will get assigned to be aliens, and then others will get assigned to be the crew of the ship. And these aliens have invaded the ship. They're disguised as humans, and they have different information than the players themselves are handed like different information or partial information to the actual human players. So they will make responses that will seem odd or seem out of place. And it's a social experiment type of game where you're trying to guess who's the aliens and yeet them off the ship. Yeet them. So it's very, very interesting, that concept that you have to be very careful and pay attention to their behaviors specifically and contextually, because if you're not, you know, it's very easy for the aliens to win, because they can do things like corrupt the data on the mainframe of the ship, so that way it makes it look it also gives bad information to one of the colonists or whatever. So it's pretty interesting in that sense. I've only seen it played once or twice over at a friend's house, but it's a pretty interesting, like, social deduction type of game.
Yeah. So
in that regard,
like, essentially just observe and eliminate.
Excuse me.
That sounds like a fun game, actually.
Yeah, no, it does. It's the newest Jackbox game. I'll have to look at the name of it real quick.
You know what's interesting? Right, so we're talking about the powers of observation, specifically regarding this game, but, like, just in general, like, what have you observed in humanity? And in my experience, I don't know about everyone else's, but in my experiences, my ability to observe is always turned way down, just normally, because I'm always focused on, like, my own shit going on. I don't pay attention to a lot of other people until I decide to. Like, I made that active decision to go, all right, now I am going to actively attend to other people and what it is they're saying and doing, whatever, and pay attention. And I feel like I miss out on a lot when I don't turn on in that respect. Does anyone else feel themselves having to, like, turn it on? Wow, it sounds like I'm saying something really weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, turn it on, Weebo. Turn it on.
No.
I'm sorry. You knew this was going to happen if you brought me on here. I was going to take everything as a sexual innuendo.
You're right. But no, seriously, do you feel the need, or do you feel as if your powers of observation are trying to say it non-inappropriately.
Have to be like activated.
Have to be activated.
Powers of observation, activate.
Sherlock syndrome, activate. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes it just, I guess it depends on how much energy I have that day. Sometimes I will just notice things without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then other times it'll be, I have to exert an effort of will. So it really depends on the day, I think, in my personal opinion. There are definitely times where I will notice things that I'm like, you know, I always tell people, especially since I've been starting, you know, on my hormone replacement therapy, estrogen gives you superpowers. Like, I've always no. Let me clarify this, because I've always been slightly observant of people's like mannerisms and things like that. You know how they've always said that you know, women are able to notice tiny little things in people's behavior, whether they mean to or not. You know, women communicate on more levels than a man does. A man is pretty much just like, yeah, no, here's my words. Here's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Whereas women are just like, oh no, I'm reading her body language. I'm reading what clothes she's wearing that day. I'm reading the way where her eyes are at, where she's talking, you know, without even really realizing they're doing it. You know what I mean?
I kind of get it. I try not to. I think I actively avoid doing that because there's just so much about other people that you have to read in order to get it.
I've noticed I pick up more of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because my, you know, like I said, my hormone therapy has made me more emotional and emotionally sensitive. So I read a lot more of those tells without even thinking about it. But I'm also aware of the things that I'm just like, oh, you don't really mean what you just said. Why are you saying this? You're lying.
Sounds,
you know,
like intuition, says Ryan Walters.
It is an intuition. It's like they say like women's intuition. And I'm not claiming that it's an actual superpower, but it is just something that I've noticed. The more emotionally sensitive you are, the more you can pick up on little subtle things like that. And like I said, sometimes I don't even mean to. Somebody will say something and I'm like, really? Because your words are saying something that your body language and your eyes and everything else are not agreeing with. You know.
Okay. So from Eve, we have, you feel more observant now than you did beforehand about that kind of stuff. Me, I've always felt less observant, just as like a normal thing. What about you, Polly? More or less observant?
What when you say you're feeling less observant, what are you comparing it to?
To other people in the way that they observe other people, I guess. Because I've always been a bit naive about certain social things. So if people liked each other, or people liked me, or if people were not good people, I guess, or a bit of annoying people, maybe creepy, I don't pick up on that as quickly as other people do. And that tells me that I might be less observant than those other people. Unless I specifically go out of my way to be like, okay, get in the mindset of, I'm looking for the creep. I'm looking for the romance. I'm looking for this, or this. Or I have to be like made aware of it before I actually notice it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So now you less or more, or is it fluctuating?
That's a tough question. I was asking you what you compare it to, because I don't know. Like, kind of always me, so I don't know if I could say more or less than any other time, because I don't really have a means of comparison.
So no one ever tells you anything that you're surprised by, or they tell you a lot of things about other people around them that you are surprised by? Like, what happens more often to you?
Hold on, ask that question again. That was a little word salady.
Sorry. So do people tell you things about others that more often than not you aren't surprised by, or more often than not you are surprised by?
Not surprised by.
Okay. So to me that says you might be a little bit more observant than myself.
In my experience, Polly is very observant about certain things. Like he pays attention to the way people say things, and he's like, yeah, you saying that, but you don't really seem like you mean that, you know?
Yeah. See, I feel like I have to be primed before I actually notice other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a little bit sad. But I also have trouble focusing. Undiagnosed ADHD, as I've been told, which is entirely a possibility. But yeah, I do have a little bit of trouble focusing on one thing at a time. So my mind is always kind of like, let me do this, 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 this. And then finally someone's just like, wait, so did you know about this? And I'll be like, what? Oh no, now I know.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll be watching. But it does take a little bit of a prod. Weebo has had police training that should help with observation. You'd think that, but there are some things in police training that you'd think should be obvious, but aren't super obvious. Things that they have to point out to you about the job that maybe you hadn't considered initially. And that goes for all things of that nature. You know, if you're on the job training for anything, and it seems like it should be a no-brainer later on down the line. At one point, it wasn't. Like, people go through life blissfully unaware of a lot of things about their existence until one day they are made aware. And then you're super aware of it. Maybe you're erratic, says Michael Trudell. Erratic. What does that mean? In this context, like erratic. And no one's got any.
Inconsistent, incongruent, not
Incongruent?
the same from one moment to the other.
Unpredictable? Okay.
You're unpredictable.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty predictable. I have everything calendared out all the time. It's color-coded too. Maybe that's just a coping mechanism. What if I'm not actually super organized about stuff? What if that's just the way that I figured out how to cope with my own shenanigans? Ooh. We're deep diving today.
Oh. Lion is asking for a thing in chat.
Oh, yeah. By the way, guys, donate to the lovely co-host. Their links are in the description. I didn't give you my Streamlabs. You didn't give me the Streamlabs. I can fix that. If you send it to me, I can fix it.
I can give it to you. Give me a second.
But yeah, Polly's, as per usual, all of his stuff is in the description if you would like to donate to help facilitate the getting of a new potato. Not an au gratin, perhaps maybe a sweet potato.
Is a sweet potato above an au gratin?
I feel like it is.
Well, one's processed, the other isn't. There you go, Weebs.
Well, there's that, but also I feel the sweet potato is of a superior nature to the regular potato. And the reason why is because it's better for you. And it tastes better.
Thank you, Lime Patriot. Polly, did you have a childhood pet? No. I've taken care of other people's pets, like the one abandoned dog that my housemate at the time just kind of left, the miserable bastard. But a pet of my own? No.
You never had a pet?
No.
Have you ever wanted one?
Absolutely. Damn right I did.
What kind? What did you want?
I wanted a dog when I was a kid. I still do want a dog, but I don't. I leave for a couple of days at a time and show back up home at irregular times. That'd be like mean to a dog. So I think I want a cat now.
So even a cat needs some kind of attention like that. I mean, you can leave a cat, but they won't be very friendly if you only around that often.
True. Unless it's a rescue, in which case it'll be super friendly or super terrified of you.
I was trying to summon my furry beasts, but they're ignoring me, so fuck you guys.
Mm-hmm. See, okay, Polly, I know what au gratin is now after trying it, or after I've had it before, but I didn't know it was called au gratin, and now I know what it is, and I've had it, and I've like made that word and thing association,
mm-hmm.
and I don't feel like au gratin potatoes are all that fancy.
Yeah, I hear you there, but people for some reason think they are. Oh no, if you were to, it's just when I took my regular computer and stuck an SSD drive in it and that spiced it up, I'm trying to think of. So it's still a potato, but it's a potato on another level. So what would it be?
Yeah, I don't think it would be au gratin. I think it would be like a baked potato with cream cheese or something.
How about that? It's a double stuffed baked potato, twice baked.
Yes, a twice baked potato. I think the fanciest kind of potato that you could get would be garlic mashed.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Polly's current potato is like triple baked.
See, Weebo, she was telling a joke.
Hey, I'm funny. Fuck you.
I didn't get that she was telling a joke before, Polly. Thanks. Now it's funny.
Zombie Teddy's not wrong. Polly wants a beagle. You're damn right I do.
Who doesn't?
Beagles are adorable.
They're so adorable. But I went and did like reading on beagles because I liked them so much, and it's like, no, you should have land, and they're extremely social animals, and they want to run, and they're very, very vocal. You can't stop them from baying or howling because it's what they do. Once they've discovered that they have the ability to howl, they never don't want to do it, which is fine if you have like
land,
like a little quarter acre or whatever.
Yeah.
But
couldn't you bring, so I know that part of the issue is that you're never home, but couldn't you bring the dog with you places? Register it as like a therapy dog or whatever.
I was thinking of doing that and I wouldn't go the emotional support one. I'd just be like, I'm partially blind. Just put one of those little, like, the little fake jackets that they have on them. No, I couldn't do that. Dogs for the Blind are a great charity. You shouldn't fuck around like that.
Well, no, but you can register an animal as an emotional support one, so you can get it in places that it's not supposed to be in. And
see, that's the thing, is an emotional support animal and a like a assisting, like a, what you call it, handicap assist animal, are two different things. A lot of places won't allow the emotional support animal because it's really fucking easy to get it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like,
you can say, I have anxiety and this thing makes me not cry less. And it's like, okay, but
yeah, but who absolutely is going to tell you no, you can't bring your sweet little furry pet with you to this place?
Depends on how much trouble it causes.
Yeah, exactly. So if you train the dog really well and the dog is really well behaved, no one's going to have an issue with your dog at all.
Oh, wait a minute. Ryan Walters brings up a good point. Evolve your potato to gnocchi. That's the fanciest version of the potato. Gnocchi.
What? And is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Gnocchi?
Ganache?
No, is gnocchi. Get it right.
No.
Yeah,
that's
gnocchi.
A ganache?
It's potato pasta.
David Miller wants to know if I'm drinking absinthe. No, it's Midori. It's a melon liqueur. Only like 20%, and then I only put like that much in there.
What the fuck is a ganache?
Yeah, Toss makes a very good point. Emotional support animals are not protected by law.
It's potato pasta, I said.
I know, but like I want to look it up. I want to see what it looks. Oh, I've had that before.
Gnocchi. It's a little balls of potato thing.
Oh, they're so good. And a little cream sauce, a little clam cream sauce. Unbelievable.
All right, guys, donate to Polly so we can get him his good ganache.
Jesus.
God damn it. God damn it. She did it on purpose, you little.
All right, what have I said? Ganache. I'm having a good time.
I can't stand you.
I thought about registering Daphne as an emotional support animal so that my school would let me have her down here sometimes.
I just got a $5 donation from Lion Patriot. He says, my childhood pet was Tiger. He was a white and orange tabby cat. Tiger loved tater chips. Sometimes he would hump my leg. Thank you for the donation, Lion Patriot. That's cute. Sometimes he would hump my leg. Oh.
Okay, I have a funny story similar to that. You guys ready for this?
Okay.
It's gonna make me sound ridiculous. But here we go. So boyfriend has a cat. And this cat is the tiniest little thing. She's adorable. She looks like, have you ever seen How to Train Your Dragon?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Toothless. A little bit.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's the cutest thing ever. But anyway, Meowschwitz is her name. That's not the funny part of the story. But she's not been spayed. And she's about 3 years old. And so I was visiting with boyfriend one evening. And his cat was going through heat. I didn't know this. I thought she was just acting weird.
Bet it was.
And I thought that she just wanted snuggles. And so I'm sitting there on the ground petting her. And he's like, she's in heat, you know. And I'm like, no, she's not. She just wants some loving. She wants some loving, all right? So I'm giving her pets and whatever. And it gets to the point where I'm giving her pets. And she starts backing up into me. In the way that you would expect a cat to do that wants to get it on, you know? And the look on my face, you should have seen it, because it was probably the funniest shit ever, because boyfriend was laughing hysterically. He still loves that, but it was traumatizing. Because it took me a minute to realize what she was doing, and she's backing up into me, and I'm like petting her, and then I realized, oh, she wants some dick. Shit! I can't do this. Bye. And I zipped out of there.
I'm sorry. I can't give you what you want.
And then she followed me around for the rest of the evening doing exactly that. Backing up into me. So, like, it's this weird little dancey thing where she loafs. You know how cats loaf?
Mm-hmm.
They take on the shape of a bread loaf. And then she just kind of like does this little tiger dance, backing up into the thing that she wants to do the diddly with her. Oh, God.
Yeah, Cult of Krill says it was molested by a cat. It's traumatizing. Don't feel ashamed telling your truth.
I did not consent. That was my hashtag #MeToo moment.
Memes wants to know if you're a lesbian furry. I mean, I'd say so, considering she had just had a cat try to get it on with her. No, I'm sorry. She's not a furry. She's a lesbian zoophile.
Not starting that rumor. That is not a thing. I'm not condoning any of this.
So we're okay to say that you were a trap with an 87-foot long dick, but
no furries.
No furries.
I draw the line there.
Hashtag Weebo hates furries.
Yes, I do, with a burning passion.
Oh my God.
I am the most bigoted anti-furry ever. Feels so good to say that.
And Weebo loses half of her subscriber base.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but you know.
No, I'm already in the negatives. It's fine.
Do you want to talk about why you're in the negatives?
Yeah, why it is that I'm losing subscribers left and right. It's because
you started doing cocktail hour with me.
No, actually, you were not the person that is hurting the numbers. It's the fact that I dared to criticize a woman on the internet.com, Polly, in my last video.
Hashtag meow too.
I made a video, a follow-up video to my Kaitlin Bennett one, and some of my viewers did not enjoy that. Because I made a very, I think, eloquent point, but a lot of people willfully took it to mean something completely different than what it was that I intended it to mean. My goal was essentially to compare the inauthentic left to the inauthentic right. You know, the ones that play sides religiously, that equate one side to absolute Satan versus the other side to absolute Hitler. Those are the sides kind of that I was kind of going after. And I used Kaitlin Bennett to embody that in a sense.
You done fucked up, Aaron.
I guess. Because I would see, the point I was trying to make was that both sides go for the victimhood points and they capitalize off of that in the news. I mean, you saw it with, and I made this point specifically, but apparently it was the wrong point to make. You saw that with Jussie Smollett. He specifically staged a hate crime to score victim points to make his point. Whereas on the right, we have people of the world like Kaitlin Bennett specifically being antagonistic with the people that they're interviewing in order to rile up a crowd against them. And that's where I see the parallels. And apparently, you can't say that garnering victimhood points for either side is the same thing as garnering victimhood points for either side, because they're not the same thing. And I know that a hate crime versus instigating a riot are not the same thing, but
yeah,
that wasn't the point.
Snow in chat says those viewers can suck it. We gun owners don't like Kaitlin. She's done nothing good for us. I agree. She's done nothing but make an ass out of herself and play the victim of, look, I can't carry my gun wherever I want, and look at these people over here. She's right-wing SJW. That's what it is.
Faithless asked, did she fake hers? No, that's not the point that I was making. The point that I was making is specifically going out of your way to antagonize your side with this, oh, well, now see what we've been saying all this time? It's all true. Because all you have to do is construct a narrative where that is the truth. And whether or not it's purposefully going out of your way to do that with people who you know are going to react like that on a scale and publicize it, versus going out of your way to manufacture a scenario where that's the case, even if it is completely fake, like Jussie Smollett, I see those as simultaneously disingenuous.
Mm-hmm.
But oh no, you can't hold people to a standard.
Why would you hold people to a standard, Weebo? That makes absolutely no sense.
I don't know. I thought maybe we were at that point in our existence as a society where we could hold people to standards, but I guess not.
Nope, can't do that.
I should have done something for my hair for the Kaitlin video. Yeah, I should have, Daniel Fullman. Should have given myself long-ass extensions and then turned it into ramen. No! I should have bought ramen, cooked it, and then just put it all over my head. Missed opportunity.
What?
Too.
What?
Have you not seen Kaitlin Bennett's hair?
I have, but come on, that's a little harsh.
I don't know. Her hair reminds me of ramen noodles. It genuinely does.
Oh, cannot unsee now.
Like, it's pretty, but it looks like ramen noodles.
I'm picturing it, and I cannot unsee it now. Thank you, Weebo.
I know, right?
You
see this.
I will forever call her ramen hair.
And it's not like her hair is beautiful. It's thick. It's long, but it's long to the point where it looks like it's just ramen noodles coming off of the back of her head, which is fine. Do what you will. Polly, do you have an opinion on the Kent State gun girl chick? Because I know you like guns.
No, excuse me, not particularly.
No. You don't think her brand of activism in gun control is...
Oh no, there's lots of people where it's like, yeah, you're on my side, stop helping.
Yeah, like the people that show up to McDonald's with 8 K-47s strapped to their back.
Yeah, it's like there's LGBTQ people that have problems all over the world, and I mean very serious problems. Jessica, you need stop helping.
Mm-hmm.
In what way is Yaniv ever helping?
I don't think anyone is on the side of Jessica Yaniv, or at least a very small minority. Whereas I feel like there's a mixed bag of people regarding Kaitlin Bennett. Like, you get an equal batch. There are people who love guns that, you know, hate her, and then there are people that love guns that don't hate her or actually want to marry her in some cases, because that's a comment I got quite a few times.
Your kink is not my kink.
That's fair.
Ramen hair is not my kink. I mean, like, I don't even get it. She's not even all that cute to me.
Well, that's not my issue with her, though. It's willfully ignoring the main points that I was making. Because one of the points that I also made was about one of her videos where she was at I think it was a pro-life or it was a pro-choice rally, and she was interviewing people, and one of the people whose father had brought his daughter to the rally, I guess to score political brownie points with people or whatever, as one does. Not that I'm commending him for such nonsense. I actually think that's despicable, but I've made that point several times historically. Like, you can go back on my channel. But Kaitlin Bennett, she went up to the dad, or she went up to the little girl, and she started interviewing the girl and asking her questions, and she put this on her channel, Liberty Hangout, and I was equally disturbed by that behavior, that exploitation of that child, as much as I was by the dad doing it, as, you know, Kaitlin Bennett. But people were in the comments making the point of, well, the dad brought her anyway, so, you know, Katie was just filming shit. And I'm like, she didn't have to put that on the channel at all. I find it equally abhorrent. Sorry. The kid was 6 years old, says Irie Prostate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think
not okay.
Children should be capitalized off of.
No matter how you slice it, they shouldn't. I mean, it's like, you know, all those people who went after fucking Barron Trump. And it's just like, no, leave the kid alone. He doesn't get a choice in who his parents are.
Exactly. I find that equally abhorrent. Just as much as I find Desmond is amazing being profited off of by his parents, equally abhorrent. Same thing with Lactatia. Same thing with any kid that's on the internet that their parents use for political clout. Greta Thunberg? Yeah, she's like, what, 16? Still, it's despicable.
Mm-hmm.
Same
thing.
That's
documented evidence.
Golden Age Radio. I'm not playing solitaire. I'm playing double deck cutthroat solitaire.
Oh, well, so long as we get it correct. Side note before we continue on. Hi, guys. Thank you to Golden Age Radio for the donation over on the Streamlabs. Success is 9 parts content, 1 part controversy. Activists go for 9 parts controversy, 1 part content. That's why their 15 minutes go by so fast, and they get burned every second of it. Yes, I will agree. Controversy does sell very well.
And before people forgot in chat that I'm wearing shorts, that was not my underwear you just saw.
Haha.
This dress is very short, so I was like, I'm going to put some shorts on.
It's cute, though.
Thank you.
But yeah, okay, so Polly, we talked a few weeks ago about the types of journalism that make me uncomfortable. We talked about the Chris Hansen version of journalism. Mm-hmm. And I was watching some Kaitlin Bennett interviews, I guess you could say, and they were very reminiscent of at least Chris Hansen's style of journalism, wherein he just goes up to the people, specifically when he went to Onision's house directly. Except in this case, she's not going up to people's houses. She's just pursuing people on the streets in both a political, you know, atmosphere as well as just on the streets. And I don't know, I feel like journalism is more supposed to be about observation than it is about goading people into reacting. That's like the extent of my issue.
Yeah, it's just like, and here's a topic that's probably gonna upset some people. It's like when fucking what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. The guy who went after Ben Shapiro recently. He's the
Nick Fuentes. Yes, I brought him up in the video too.
When Fuentes just decided he was going to go and confront Shapiro in the street. Mm-hmm. And there were people, not naming any names, who were defending his actions, saying, well, Shapiro can't just say what he wants and expect to not be confronted about it. And it's like, fair enough, but I also know you, the person who's sitting here talking about this and defending Fuentes' actions, would just as easily, if somebody had walked up to you in the street like that over something, you were sitting there walking with your wife and kids, or your girlfriend and your kids down the street, and somebody had pulled up on you like that over something you said on the internet, you'd have pulled your gun on them. Because I know you, and I know you well enough to know that you support your Second Amendment rights, and to act like you wouldn't and act like what Fuentes did was okay is you know, but Fuentes is a reactionary who wanted attention. He didn't want a discussion. He wanted attention.
True. and there is a time and place, as Ryan Walters in the chat has pointed out, there is a time and place for you to actually confront somebody that is in the political atmosphere. And to my knowledge, Ben Shapiro offers those opportunities to people at his speaking engagements. Am I not wrong? Like, I've seen those video clips of people going up to the mic to ask Ben Shapiro specifically the questions that they want to ask him, and he just kind of does that at his speaking engagements, where it's open platform. So I don't see why you have to pursue someone while they're out with their family on the streets. At specifically Ben Shapiro in this case, especially. Ethics in games journalism.
Somebody asked in chat if Polly wears an overcoat, and I'm like, nah, he wears a smoking jacket.
Obviously.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Well, okay.
Do you wear
They're
both?
also debating whether you're shuffling an actual deck of cards, whether it's Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
No. They could be Magic the Gathering cards.
They could be Magic the Gathering.
Somebody brought up Pokerman cards, and I've gone to my local game shop to buy paints for the Warlord minis that I paint, and I see people playing. Inquisitor calls them card floppers. I'm not lying. I want to understand how this game works because I know nothing of that world, right? It's fat people that could probably use some advice in terms of personal hygiene. And I'm not trying to be mean. These people actually fit this stereotype, but it's like
some of them do.
Yeah, some. But I'd like to sit down and be like, okay, what are you doing? Like not with your life. I mean, how does the game work? Because like they're flopping down stuff. Like I'd actually like to know how the hell Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokerman work. Like why does this card top the next card top? I mean, I get the video of Pokerman better than I get the card flopping version.
So a rough description of how CCGs, collectible card games, work. Usually it's you versus an opponent. You draw a hand and you have like your deck over here on the side, and you draw what's in your hand, and there's various rules written on the cards that tell you how each one functions. Usually, especially with like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, each card has like a health value or something like that. Each card usually has some kind of other cost. It's something you have to spend, so you have to have it in your hand in order to spend it or play it, for example, Magic is a good example of ones where you have to play. You draw cards they call mana, and then you play the mana cards, and they sit over here off to the side. And every time you want to play like a card that could attack or something like that, or cast a spell or something like that, you have to tap the mana, which means you use it for that turn. And then there's various ways that they play, but they get really complicated when you get into the individual rules of each card. And there's so many different strategies because there's so much variety amongst the cards and how you combine them and how you
like, I'm not going to lie. When I watch them talk about like, okay, here's a starter set that you can buy online, like Magic the Gathering, Jeremy will put them together, or the Quarter Jeremy will put them together where here's your starter pack, and it's like, oh, so you need certain sets and stuff like that. And that you don't need a score sheet fascinates me. I mean, when you play Cutthroat Rummy, you need a score sheet to keep point value, and it still doesn't work usually, like that. So I'm not gonna lie, it's interesting. I want to know the mechanics of how this all happens. So,
well, I know for Magic, and they use like a D20. That just because it just tracks your health. All you're trying to do is defeat your opponent. Your opponent has a set amount of health.
Yeah.
And they can block your attacks with their own units and stuff like that. And there are ways around it. There are ways to just decimate their forces so that anything you do goes directly to them. Like I said, they usually just use a D20 set aside, and they just track their health with that.
I had no idea dice are even involved. That even makes it more interesting. Really?
There's no dice rolling, but they use a D20 to track it. So
So when I've played with Boyfriend, the Magic the Gathering, he's used an application on his phone to track our point values, and that was really helpful. But I've played it a few times, and I still don't quite understand all of the rules. Although
I know the basics.
Yeah, I do know the basics.
There's somebody who would know. Happy Dude. We're talking about Magic the Gathering. Hi, Happy Dude.
Eve, you're woman-splaining.
I am. I'm telling you guys how it be.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all these people come out like, "I'll show you how to play," like memes of destruction and different people. I can show you how to play. It's like, wow, all you people know how to play this game too.
It's quite fun once
Devil
you get
Fruit
the
Cereal
hang of
says,
it a
"Do
little
not watch the Yu-Gi-Oh anime if you want to know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh."
bit.
Same for the Pokemon card
I completely
game.
believe you. I completely believe what you're saying.
Yeah, no, there are no monsters that actually jump out of your cards.
well, that's I didn't gather that. Or I just meant like okay, here's this game and we have to make lore out of it. You know what I mean? It's like if you ever, I used to watch on this retro cartoon channel the old Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Like Saturday morning cartoon style cartoon, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't telling me how to play AD&D at all. I can tell.
I don't know what's going on. Here's the thing. Boyfriend does D&D every weekend or every other weekend, whenever it is that he can, and he likes to tell me about what he does in D&D, and I have trouble realizing exactly what it is he does because he'll try to tell me about the adventures that he's had, and then he'll say something completely out of left field, like roll initiative, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Because I've never played. But I keep telling him, if you want me to understand you, I have to actually have played it first so I understand you, so that I have something to actually tie it to. Because right now, the only experience I actually have regarding anything D&D related, it's gotta be side quests. That's it. And it's tangentially related,
which is absolutely hilarious because Magog has never played D&D, and every time D&D comes up in a voice chat on his server, he's like, "You're fucking nerds, get that shit out of here." And it's like, you sit here as a wizard, pretending to be a necromancer on the internet, and you're gonna call people fucking nerds for.
Yeah.
He even used that as an example. He's like, "Hey, I pretend to be a necromancer on the internet, and I'm sitting here calling you a nerd, so shut the fuck up." And it's like, no, come on, Magog.
I think the only person, at least during my time, that had actually played D&D while I was on was Angie.
Mm-hmm.
She took that shit seriously, and she would even talk about it. And I'd just be like, what is going on here? I don't know if Beardy ever played. I think maybe he probably did, because it's Beardy. Beardy's done just about everything. I know shit about Beardy, all right?
Golden Age Radio brings up an interesting point. VR technology can make them jump out, meaning the characters off of the cards. Altered reality?
Oh, I have.
Or augmented reality? Is what they call it. Tell me somebody's done that with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards. Where you can put on goggles or whatever and play the game, and you flop down the card, and all of a sudden your little whatever the fuck, I can't remember the name of a single poker man right now, but
Pikachu.
Like you pop down your Pikachu card and Pikachu jumps up and does an adorable little dance like he does.
Yeah.
That would be, why hasn't somebody, that has to have been a thing already. This is too obvious of a great idea.
Technically, Pogo is already out. It's kind of similar to what it is you're describing. So I can walk around, I can walk around my campus or whatever it is that I want to, and I can catch Pokemon and they can just show up. I can actually switch it so that you can actually see like when it is that I'm catching a Pokemon. All right.
Well,
I don't know how well
Pincalo says Pokemon Go, and yeah, okay, I get your point, Pincalo. I mean, that's kind of what I mean, but you know what I mean, like where there's a camera pointed and you're actually flopping the card, and then all of a sudden the card leaps to life, as opposed to walking around your neighborhood and throwing poker balls at things because there's a.
I'm trying to find this Starly now. I don't know where the fuck it went.
Memes of Destruction says working on it, Polly.
Anyway.
Okay, so I got this situation with my Streamlabs.
Mm-hmm. Ding, 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 ding.
So professional.
So much.
Oh, I'm sorry that my medication time is unprofessional to you, Polly.
Yeah, my timer goes off during the show.
Oh, it's not your medication. It's your inability to click it on vibrate. Vibrate. Bzzz.
The point of an alarm is for it to make noise. You dingus.
But it does make noise.
My phone is on vibrate. The alarm plays anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
What?
But I'm sorry it upsets you, Polly. I wasn't planning.
It doesn't upset me. It enrages me. I'm joking with you, Eve. It's fine. So I got this situation with my Streamlabs that people were donating when I was not on stream.
What?
And like anyone's stream here, my own, Comic Book Curation, Noir Bar, Monkeys. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said strange. Continue, I'm sorry.
People be generous. And I think they're watching it after the fact, right? People are on different time zones. Lots of Aussies out there. They're watching things because they're on the other side of the globe. And you know, the whole thing about the spherical nature of the planet and where the sun's at and shit.
Wait. The Earth is a sphere?
Well, to go full sanguine for a second, I think it's technically an oblong spheroid, but
I thought it was flat.
Yeah, well, we have to keep the lie going. Shh, they'll shut us down.
No, because I look at my window right now, and like I see into the distance. Because middle of nowhere, Indiana, there's a lot of distance out there, and it is flat. I see for miles. Continue. I'm sorry. You were saying about the spherical nature of the Earth.
No, I was talking about my Streamlabs. So I'm going to read these out next stream that I'm on when there's more Aussies likely to be awake at the time, especially some of the people that are on here. But I feel obligated to read them off because a bunch of them are really generous and just nice in general because I've been very sick and out of it and still am. Manila Bob donated $50 to my potato fund specifically. Very much appreciated, Manila Bob. Polly's Potato donated. Please do not name the amount. This is for you. I hope you feel better soon. Get well, buddy. It's much appreciated from my own potato. Sir Wolfgang for the $5. Polly, I bet you're the kind of guy to Spartan kick the commie out of the helicopter. If so, I approve.
Spartan kick a commie out of helicopter.
Except that I would do it like full Leonidas, but it would be like, this is America.
Yeah.
Fucking commies. Yeah, yes. In Minecraft. Yeah.
See, that's what I keep telling Assassin of the Grey is he'll say something like somebody needs a helicopter ride. And I was like, honey, you can't say that. Like, you really can't say that. But he's just like, I don't understand what the problem is. I'm like, the problem is you go on a list and then we might get stuck on a list with you because we were there when you said it.
By the way, guys, gentle reminder from Ryan Walters to donate mana to Polly's Ganaki.
Ganaki.
Can I say it right?
Well, who?
You know, you
while up somebody correct because I was saying gnocchi, and I thought that's the way they were saying it. Apparently, it's gnocchi, like Nockey. Gnocchi.
Okay, now it's my turn to be a bitch and mispronounce it. I've always said gnocchi.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
in Minecraft.
Play nice.
But wait, there's more. Gil Cotto, who's another wonderful Aussie that we talked about, donated very generously, who does not want me to name the amount, says, dude, I hope you're back to regular poly levels of dub soon. In the meantime, I hope I can treat you to some healthy and hearty food and some good coffee, for I am Australian and thus appreciate good coffee. Or throw it at whatever you actually need. Hey. Well, it's going to go towards prescriptions, honestly. And then Pete donated. See, the Aussies, they did right now came in. Thank you, Pete, for $2. I appreciate it. Did I tell you about my idea of getting Mustafa to do a bluesy heavy metal version of I Still Call Australia Home to play when the Aussies donate money, but don't put any text there?
No.
Because through Far and other Aussies that I've met, apparently they all know of this song, I Still Call Australia Home. It's an extremely well-known song. It's like America, 'Tis of Thee. It's like every American kind of knows the melody, if not by name, they know the song.
Sing it for me.
My Land, 'Tis of Thee? You've never heard?
Sing it.
I think she's just to hear you sing, Polly. Low key, I want to hear you sing too.
I can only sing songs that were meant to be, sung in a very low register.
You could sing it an octave or two down.
Well, no, not really. I mean, anybody with any kind of music, you know, but there are songs that are meant to sing in my natural low register. So
I'm kind of jealous of the natural low register Polly's voice.
Way down in Egypt land.
Do you know how much I could do with that?
People go.
Let my people. You know what? That is such a good movie.
It
Have
is.
you seen The Prince of Egypt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pharaoh, Pharaoh, let my people go. Yeah, see, it's down there, you know, Old Man River, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Old Man River. It's far too high.
It's the first time hearing of it since Mustafa X-Men. Are you talking about
Cult of Krill? Thank you very much for the $5. Is cheese just a loaf of milk?
Yes.
I heard him ask Monkey that earlier today.
I could see some people taking opposition to that. My answer is yes, except it's a deliciously fermented, sharp loaf of milk. But yeah, it's just a loaf of milk.
Is it always sharp though? Because sometimes you get a cheese that's not quite sharp.
If it's good cheese, it's
all cheese is good cheese. Polly,
I dig razor sharp cheddar. Now that's me.
I like sharp cheddar as well, but I also like cheeses of the other varieties as well because they're all my children.
See, I mean, Deco, he's a musician. He gets it. Polly can reach a note below my range. I hear people that have like a musical ear because they've done ear training and they're musicians and they understand these things. I wish I knew something about musical theory. It's really interesting. And when I hear people talk about it to understand it, I'm like, I wish I knew what you were talking about right now.
Yeah, I wish I could read music, but I was dyslexic for all 12 years that I played the violin when it came to sheet music. So it's funny, actually, because my old teacher is about to retire and she wants me to get up on stage with the rest of everyone who's ever played with her and play a song that I have no experience playing, that I won't be able to practice before it is the last concert that she's doing is going to happen. So I'm freaking out a little bit, not going to lie.
Cool. Okay. I'm filing both these jokes away. I'm going to steal them. I'm just telling you guys. Golden Age Radio says, so sharp I can shank a bitch with it. Okay, that's filing that away. And Ryan Walters is sharp cheese illegal in the UK?
You on irate, Alex. Why don't you? It'll be hilarious.
You got a license for that cheddar? Okay. I have some unintentional comedy for you guys.
Ooh, excellent. Gimme.
So Mark Levine, who's a Democrat, off in Virginia, sadly representing Alexandria, Arlington, and Fairfax. This is Northern Virginia, where I don't want to get into local politics of the area, but my God. So anyway, up on his website, he posts a open letter called the AR-15, the weapon of choice for mass murderers.
Is it though?
Man, I gotta get a sound clip of Drunkle doing that. Fuck. It's one of my
I mean, I can replicate it well enough for you.
I said no.
But I want it with the accent and everything. I want a Drunkle original, you know?
It's a no.
No, you just scratched it. What the hell? That was awful. Okay.
Sorry.
How dare you? Polly, how dare you?
Okay. Are you ready for the state of politics by insane Democrats who have lost all sense of sensibleness? I got nothing. I start to lose the power of description reading this. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Ready as I'm going to be.
Oh, okay. Let's say you want to commit mass murder.
Brilliant start. Continue.
Yes. It's a grabber, you know?
Ooh, you got my attention. Continue. Please.
You want a military weapon originally used by the Nazis that murders quickly, painfully, and with precision. You don't want to hunt animals. The weapon isn't designed for that. You want to hunt people. You want to hurt people badly, not to disable an attacker the way the police do, but to cause maximum pain and maximum death. After all, murder is not enough for you. You're a sadist. You want to kill as many as possible and as quickly as possible and painfully as possible. So you order an AR-15. And now you have your weapon for mass murder. Your weapon for mass destruction, more lethal than anthrax. And now, with the GOP-approved bump stocks, you can just about have the firepower of the Nazis. And what if you are a Nazi or an Al-Qaeda terrorist? What if you're a mentally disturbed youngster who has vowed to commit mass murder? What if you have a history of torturing animals or domestic violence or gang activity? What if you've been convicted of shooting innocent people and are out on parole? No problem. The GOP in Virginia has steadfastly refused to enact or even consider bills to punish the good guys who sell such dangerous weapons to the bad guys. The GOP doesn't want a basic background check, already used in gun stores, to apply to gun sales, to criminals, terrorists, and the violently insane walking our streets. So if you think background checks are unreasonable, and you can deal with little children being massacred like this on a regular basis, you want to support the NRA and the GOP. But if you think this madness needs to stop, the only way out is to elect Democrats.
All right. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have I gone back in time? Is it fan fiction night already? Like, I thought that we discontinued this. I'm checking my calendar right now.
Done. Almost done.
We don't have this scheduled, Polly. What the fuck?
Okay. It's the only way to stop the next massacre. The aforementioned electing only Democrats. And that will stop the one that will occur tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Thoughts and prayers will not stop the massacres, nor will they bring the children back to life. To think and pray without taking action and stop the massacres helps evil succeed. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, for evil to succeed, all it needs is for good men to do nothing. Thank you, Mark Levine.
Yes, he.
Thank you very much for his article, How to Commit Mass Murder, the AR-15, the weapon of choice for mass murderers. This is up on his official website. Just so you know, I'll put the link in chat just so you don't think I'm making it up.
I'm not
the weapon of the Nazis.
Yeah. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. Briefly before we rip this guy a new one. Hello everybody. Thank you to James Colley for the donation to the Streamlabs. Polly, are you paying attention? This is important for you too.
Okay.
Not all cheese paid attention in class, so some isn't as sharp as others. I love.
Wow.
I love that shit. Good. Who is this Mark Fort Lauderdale person? Oh.
Mark Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, markfordelegate.com. I just saw the link address and I was just like, interesting. Why is this written like it's in a poem? Polly.
Yes.
This is the article thing, but can you like send stop it. No, I want to copy it. No, can you send me the article? I want to highlight this to the audience because it's written in the way. Fuck me. I am tied in my headphone cord. Okay. I'm looking at this and it's written as one would write angsty teen fan fiction.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're looking at it, like the link that I put there in chat, it's just like, no. I struggled how to describe my feelings about the Parkland, Florida massacre in my ordinary newsletter, which comes out every Sunday. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. The grim topic just didn't mesh with an ordinary newsletter. so I've laid out my thoughts below in the form of an angsty blog.
No, angsty teenage love letter to the great void.
You know what kills me is he writes, used in Florida, Las Vegas, Newtown, Colorado, Theater, Pulse nightclub, Texas church, and many, many other places. Okay, you're a lion, motherfucker. I mean, first of all, the bump stocks, like, yeah. Do you know what President Trump did with the bump stocks? You're kind of like, you are so out of date. Anyway, Pulse nightclub, that the jihadi who shot up the Pulse nightclub did not use an AR-15, moron. But what does that matter? Because you're trying to, spin a narrative. The Colorado theater shooter, the Batman premiere theater shooter. Okay, yeah, he used an AR-15. He was also right out of his fucking mind when they went to his apartment and looked under the door with the little mirrors that they use, the tax squads. The doors were wired to explode. This guy had the time and the mental bend to sit there and develop explosives and pressure-sensitive explosives to opening doors, and it tricked everything out with booby traps and shit. Are you trying to tell me that banning a particular make and model of, semi-automatic carbine was going to stop the guy? Are you insane? As that guy? Like, you're particularly naming one little thing. It would be like, the type of fuse cord that he used for his bombs needs to be banned. Weapon of mass murder. You're a ridiculous clown.
We can't have that.
And Newtown, it's tragic. He shot up a fucking school. Yeah, the weapon should have been locked up because he was a little, and his mother didn't do so. And she became his first victim.
Jolander in chat is saying to us that Mark Levine is a right-winger, by the way, so he's trolling you.
Ugh.
No, but I get your point, is that it's entirely possibility that someone could have written this and been serious about it.
A right-wing Democrat in Northern Virginia?
Mark Levin?
Levin?
Can you send me that link, Polly?
Yeah.
For whatever you're reading this from. Either on Discord or the side chat here.
And while you're doing that...
This is not Mark Levine as in Life, Liberty, and Levine.
Yeah.
This is Delegate Mark Levine of Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait, that's the name of the person who wrote this? Hold on, I missed that. Because I was like...
Delegate Mark Levine, Democrat for Virginia. It looks like a legit website that I'm looking at here.
One letter off, okay.
Yeah, he is. I mean, you can look at the bills that he's put forth and so on and so forth. Like I said, he's a delegate for Fairfax County.
All right. Side bit thingy. Quite literally, highlights. James Colley, thank you for the donation. Polly, thousands... Oh, no, I fucked that up. Starting over again. Polly, thoughts and prayers, my work depends on the voodoo practitioner. I think I know what that means.
No.
Depends on the voodoo practitioner. What does that mean?
It's the thoughts and prayers of a voodoo practitioner.
Yeah.
Like voodoo rituals.
Yeah. Are they more powerful if they're a voodoo practitioner indoors?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure what he's getting at, but it's in the sense of voodoo are, well, I wouldn't say they're more likely to curse someone, like knowing what I know about voodoo. Eva's a bit of a connoisseur of religions. It's kind of fun. Knowing what I know about voodoo, they're not as dark and witchy as, I say witchy, it's not even straight either. They're not as dark and evil as people make them out to be. There's definitely a dark side to the religion, but
it's like any other religious practitioner.
You know what? Here's my thoughts on the thoughts and prayers thing. It's yeah, there's the website right there. It pisses me off because it's deliberately misconstruing the point to be a son of a bitch and to do so in an insulting way. Now, I'm not part of a congregation, but I'm also not I try my damnedest not to be an intellectually dishonest son of a bitch. Nobody's praying that somebody come back to life after being killed by the Colorado theater shooter, for example. That's not the point. You're praying for the speedy recovery of the individual, and as I understand it, you're praying for the soul of the departed. That's the fucking point.
And the recovery.
And it's like, what does it ever do? What does thoughts and prayers ever do? You mean like all of the people that prayerfully meditated on the concept of whether enslaving your fellow man was morally acceptable, and they decided that it was not, and it was largely religious people that pushed for abolition of slavery in the United States, like those people?
I feel like it's just like a show of support to a person, like, hey, we can't do much, but what we can do is assure you that you're not alone in this, that you have people.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like, what? It can't do nothing. People go so far as to say, I don't know if you ever watch MSNBC, but they talk about it in the most derisive way imaginable. People who are saying thoughts and prayers, yeah, they're offering support in that way. I'm at a distance. I can't do anything for you. What does it actually do when they start talking about practical matters? Reinforces their ethical beliefs and that there is a higher moral power and that they need to step up and justify that thing. This whole, I mean, it just, to bring it up so derisively and insultingly, like Mark Levine did here at the end. It won't do anything. I'm tired of hearing it. You know, the angry 4% of Twitter who throw it around. These are 280 character angry, bitter losers in their life who have no power except when they open that goddamn app and start shooting their mouth off to receive likes and retweets because it makes them feel like they've actually accomplished something in their myopic existence because they have no actual agency in their own fucking life.
So, I mean, I wanted to add to that on that note of, thoughts and prayers. I've ever understood why people get so butthurt about it, because it's literally like if a religious person tells you that they're praying for you, that literally means that to their mind, their belief, they are beseeching the highest power that they know on your behalf, or on the behalf of the people who've been hurt and killed and things like that. To you, that may not mean anything if you're not a religious person, if you don't believe that the same things that they do, but to them, that's the highest sentiment they can possibly give you. And I understand the idea that it doesn't actually do anything. We need to, do something, but it's like you just said, Polly, what are all of these random individual people supposed to do? Like, what do you expect, what do you expect the individual Joe Blow going to his 9 to 5 to be able to do about the fact that somebody in Texas shot up a school when he's in New Hampshire? I mean,
I like the way you said that. Like, there is, you're either ignorant as fuck if you're angry at the very suggestion of the idea. Like, I have heard contributors on both CNN and MSNBC, news entertainers, talk about, and on Twitter, I talk about it in the angriest fucking way of dismissal. Oh yeah, thoughts and prayers, that's really going to do a lot. Nah, nah, nah. Oh, like your idealized commie bullshit utopian future notions are actually going to fucking do anything. Come back out of fucking fairyland and, come join us in the real world where those things don't fucking work. I mean, the idea, somebody were saying, like, can't we move towards something that would be a little bit better? They talk about these things as if they're fucking real. It's so insulting the way that they do that. And to me, the whole thoughts and prayers, I personally don't engage in it. But to go out of your way to be derisive to millions of people with that shit, this is where the division comes from. This is where the fucking polarization in politics comes from. Oh, all they're ever going to offer is thoughts and prayers. It's an extremely well-meant, well-wishing, and it's the best that they can offer from their position. Like Eve said, it's the highest thing that they can offer from their worldview, and you're going to dismiss it? You arrogant son of a bitch?
Okay, so I'm gonna play the devil's advocate a little bit, just slightly in this respect, and say that the only time that I could kind of see or be okay with a person being a little bit dismissive of someone saying that is like people directly affected by instances that are tragic. Like, so the survivors themselves who are traumatized, and the family who survived the victims who didn't survive, right? Who were directly affected. in their emotional state, I get that maybe hearing that for some people might not be the most helpful thing, and I'll give them a pass on discounting that show of support, so long as it's maybe within the scope of the last week that it had occurred. Because I get it, as someone who isn't necessarily super religious, who's never been super religious, who's never looked for religion to be like the kind of thing that helps me out of the dark place. It can be a little bit annoying going through something to have someone come to you and maybe not just stop at my thoughts and prayers are with you, but also like, here, come pray with me, let's get it all out and all this jazz, to kind of endorse their religion at the same time as they're trying to comfort you while you're trying to grieve and cope. It can be a little bit overwhelming and annoying and unhelpful, but that would be only in that specific occasion. Like when it is just happened, maybe that's not their preferred method of coping, or maybe they're just still grieving and so nothing can help them at that point. That would be okay. But any other instance of it happening, then, not so much.
Well, I mean, okay, that's a fair devil's advocacy point, but I mean, you ended it really nice by saying like what is going to help at that point.
Exactly.
Like, the Golden Age Radio said, send flyers, donate money for rebuilding hospitals because prayers can't pay medical bills. Well, when a kid is dead, donating the money is not going to bring that kid back. And
right. I mean,
if you want to create scenarios whereby someone's going to feel like a really empty gesture in terms of like thoughts and prayers because their kid is dead, it's like, well, that's not going to bring my kid back to life. Yeah. Well, imagine how insulting it would be with the money. It's like, do you think throwing your money at me, Mayor Bloomberg, is going to fucking bring my kid back, et cetera, et cetera? And the point is that it's a very, well, my point, I should say, is that it's a very particular media that is putting forth that narrative, because they do not ask the Parkland School parents that do not see it the way David Hogg and his fucking parents see it. They promote the given politics that support the policies that they want to see. The 3 Parkland kids who went everywhere, especially David Hogg and his weirdo butch lesbian looking friend, they appeared on MSNBC, CNN, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. They flew them around. And that was, by the way, Michael Bloomberg's Everytown America group that paid for all of that to fly them around and promote their message. Yeah, but the kid who was very much not of that thought process and said that the measures that you're talking about enacting would not have stopped it. This had way more to do with bullying and mental health than it had to do with anything to do with gun control. Holy fuck, where the fuck was that kid? Well, nowhere, because the media isn't supportive of the message that he's putting out. So it's, it talks about like uselessness of messages. Well, they're the ones promoting how useless the message is. And I agree with you, Weaves, in the last thing you said. Nothing is going to make it better at that point.
Yeah.
And as for donate money because that's going to actually do something. Well, the most generous people with charity, especially donations to medical facilities, are religious people. That's why half of all hospitals are Our Lady of such and such, Cedar Sinai.
But
they're religiously funded. The largest charity donators over and over again demographically are religious people. The least charitable donators are, and I'm not trying to single anybody out, I'm just talking a statistical argument, are the pure secularists. Because, well, shouldn't all this be paid for through taxes? There's not an individual agency towards it. And again, I'm not trying to single anyone out who hasn't donated or has donated in chat. I'm talking just statistically across the board. That tends to be the way that it is. So that religious conviction that comes from thoughts and prayers. And again, this isn't I don't have skin in this game. I'm just recognizing a bullshit argument from my particular perspective. That's all.
So,
well, okay. Can I just address
yes.
Race's point in chat here? He was talking about, donating stuff. And it's like, well, that's all fine, well and good. I don't have money to donate to every single school shooting and natural disaster that happens. I mean, I try to when I can, but especially if it's something like a major hurricane just wiped out half of an Indonesian village or something like that. That can be pretty devastating. They need a lot of money to recover from that. So I can donate 15, 20 bucks here or there, but once in a while, but I got bills to pay. Everybody does. And a lot of us, it even says they don't have to donate either. Okay, nobody has to do anything. Well, then why do we, why shame people for just saying, look, I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. I can't do much more, but this is what I can offer. To say that silence is better is insulting to me, that nobody should care. At least when you have the thoughts and prayers, that people are taking the moment to think about you and say that they actually give a shit. It's not much of anything. It doesn't pay for anything, but people discount the power that is the words and feelings that the families get from those kind of things. The encouragement that they get, that all of these people out there give a shit about them. People act like it's just a cop-out, that they just say, oh, well, thoughts and prayers, that you don't really mean that. How do you know? Who are you to say that they don't?
See, this is why I give blood.
Right. I mean, and that's fine. I mean,
There's
but
only one
not everybody
for that, and it actually does save lives.
Not everybody can or is wants to. I mean, but to say that thoughts and prayers are meaningless is just ridiculous in my opinion.
Well, you know what, Pinkalo has a sharp point here that can't be underestimated. Is people got tired of the phrase thoughts and prayers and the flags for country and je suis petty during the Paris attacks, yet the most useless slacktivism that can happen online. Yeah, people used a lot of phrases and constantly, and people got tired of it. Like, I'm involved, I care, quit here, I'm going to send out this picture of the earth and let us save the earth. That I don't know what to call it. Need to do something. The virtue signaling that goes on social media. Bad thing happened.
The show of support in a tragedy. The human desire to reach out and show that you care. I wouldn't necessarily call that virtue signaling. I just saying something in lieu of a tragedy, maybe to alleviate someone's pain somewhere down the line. That's a very human thing to do. To comfort people or to attempt to make a comforting effort.
When the claim was like, I'm with Paris, I support Paris. Well, could that even be more bland? Like, you want to point at thoughts and prayers as being bland. Like, holy fuck, there isn't even a morality there. It's just like, I am aware of thing. I'm saying, like, let's stop terrorism. Because that would have been too sharp.
No, that's too divisive.
Yeah. I don't want to come across as Islamophobic. I exist in a state of awareness that bad thing happened, is all that's being said there. It couldn't get more milquetoast. And I think that's what people were reacting to. At least it's what I was.
So, Polly, you mentioned somewhere statistical number about the donators to charity causes versus those who are of a more progressive liberal persuasion who don't donate as much. You just think that the government is going to pay for everything. I've heard that statistic before, right? But I've never actually seen the study or the survey that says that that's, or that has highlighted that is the mindset of people. Mm-hmm. Have you? Or like, do you have it on hand? Because I'd like to.
On hand? No, I don't.
No. Do you know?
We can revisit it next week if you want me to go home look
yes,
it up.
please.
I can.
And there's the other thing, is he said thoughts and prayers don't cause change. They provide comfort, for sure. That's important, but they don't reverse things. Well, if I want to change something, I'm going to go vote. I'm not going to tell you, hey, family who just got their kid shot up, I'm going to go vote to change this. That's not going to make them feel better. Instead, I'm going to say, I'm sorry this happened for you. I want to be comforting and kind to them. And then I will go and change things by voting and for different laws, different policies, different things to change that. I don't feel like those two things are mutually exclusive.
would it be fair to say that people can show support in whatever way it is that they deem comfortable with doing, and that should be enough? Like, we shouldn't discount anyone else's show of support, even if it is as simple as just showing thoughts and prayers, or changing the filter of your Facebook profile picture to be standing in solidarity with a victimized group of people or whatever. Like, who's to say what's enough versus what's not enough versus what's good enough, you know?
Who does someone have to be? Perhaps a 6-figure salary paid contributor on MSNBC.
See, I have my own personal reasons for supporting different things versus not. Like, I mentioned donating blood. I donate blood exclusively as opposed to donating money to a lot of things, mainly because I know that you can only do one thing with blood and it will get used, and they run out quite frequently. So it's within everyone's best interest that I donate my own egg blood to neonatal patients, right? Because there's a very limited pool of people that can actually do that. And I'm of that people, and you know, I can only do it every 2 months, but it's worthwhile.
These are my people.
These are my people. Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is the reason why people donate and what they donate, or the reason why people show support and how it is that they show support, is entirely their own. And who are we to judge other people on that basis?
Well,
we're not in people's head. We don't know what's going on.
No, you know what? You're right. I'm not trying to. Well, if I have attempted to assign motivation, then I was overstepping. I only mean to say what's detectable based upon what the reasons that they say that they're doing something, right?
Well, no, I was just saying in general.
Like up in chat, a couple of things came up. Somebody said that they Golden Age Radio said that I do not like the false dichotomy of the liberal atheist versus the conservative Christian. Yeah, fair enough. It's a concoction of media. Yeah, it has a demographic basis, but it's overblown. There are gun supporting, Second Amendment supporting Democrats, and there are gun grabbing Republicans. It's not as clean as that, like left right binary.
It's never.
I hear you, but it also, by the same statement, it's Polly keeps associating socialism with atheism. There's times when they haven't fit, and there's a lot of people that agree in a lot of strong social value and are theists. Yes, but to pretend that they're, I mean, do I really need to start naming the things? Atheist Soviet Russia, communist China, communist Cuba, like, oh my God, Cambodia, all of them rounded up their clergy. All of them were atheist states. And it's like, oh yeah, well, Russia technically allowed Christianity. Yeah, technically. And then rounded up all of their clergy and pilfered the church of all of its monies to support state-owned things. I mean, there is a super strong association. Or wasn't that real socialism? Because it'll always be different next time.
To that point, right? If I recall from my Euro civilization classes prior to, say, the French Revolution or whatever, when it was we had feudalism still, the first and second estates, right, were the nobility and the clergy, and they owned most of the land, and if I'm not mistaken, most of the wealth as well. And they weren't super keen on, like, oh wait, distribution of it? Wait, no, I'm not making the point that I think that I'm making. Pass. Go over me. Next person.
You know what? If you were making a point about the French clergy and in Europe in general, how they became, like, the church became large landowning people, and religion, faith had very little to do with it. It had become an institution unto itself. Yeah, there's a fuck ton. If that's what you're aiming at, or even thinking about generally, there's a fuck ton to criticize there. It's not like that's not wide open to criticism. It is.
I had half of a point in my head, and then I realized it was a stupid point, so we're not going to talk about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think Golden Age Radio says, is Weebo a socialist? That's what I'm talking about. Because, well, I wouldn't say I'm an atheist, but I am irreligious, but I wouldn't call myself a socialist because I really like having my own shit. And I want my shit to be my shit and remain my shit and not be anyone else's shit. So, don't touch my shit, right?
Well, really quick, next 6 minutes is if you love Polly and he's your bro, y'all help him get his new potato. He needs that new potato to make badass new content. Like the Weebo Jones collab, for example. Anyhow, potato.
Yeah, and 6 minutes. In that same thread, I have some donations to get through. Also, thank you the next 6 minutes who donated to the Streamlabs to say Weebo is greater than Kaitlin Bennett. That's superior math. Anyhow, this girl still needs koshala for the pasta and college expenditures. Buy her merch. It's awesome, y'all. Sweet Weebo merch and help Polly get his new potato. You know, 60 always is forever endorsing my merchandise, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's because he had a hand in creating some of my merchandise. So yes, go check it out. It's not linked in the description for cocktail hours, but it usually is on a video, on videos of mine. And I think it's also, if you go into my channel, it's, yep, my Redbubble store is right there at the top of the thingy where you see all of the thumbs in the header and whatever. So here's that link if you do want to check it out. You don't have to. It's totally fine. But then also thank you, Manic, for donating. And he did a little dancing voice. So yeah.
Is that a dancing lemon?
It's a dancing lemon.
I love the stickers, the little dancing fox.
Yeah.
And it's a Japanese fox. I don't care what anyone says. Right. Affable Sage makes a good point. Says you're smart enough to, well, there's the good point. Actually, is to not blame atheism for that. You know, it's because they didn't want competing ideologies. Oh, I hear you. I don't think you're wrong in saying that. But okay, I spend far too much time on campuses and on YouTube where people are not what I would call honest discussants. People will say, Christianity isn't an inherently violent religion. People go, what about the Crusades? And it's like, you know, as if there aren't like a lot of historical nuances and factors that led to that happening, et cetera, you know, this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did not want competing ideologies, and that's the reason they were doing it. It's not because they were trying to promote atheism as the goal of the state. They were trying to eliminate competing authority. There's authority through the church, and it's like, no, we, the state, centralized planning, the Politburo, we're in Soviet Russia anyway. We are the centralized authority, the only authority that we're going to allow. Yeah, and they used atheism in that way, and the eradication of religion and the delegitimization of religion as a tool to getting that done. My point is that a lot of the false criticisms of religion hold the same false basis for argument that people will use, like Soviet Russia, they were all atheists, they love atheism, and they wanted to promote it, and that's the only reason why. No, it's not. There's a much more complex reason for it, and it's much more understandable through realpolitik. Just like the Crusades are much more understandable through realpolitik than it is through religious conviction alone. Do you know what I mean? That's
so I have, hopefully
that word salad led to something. People, when they hate Christianity, tend to get very unnuanced in their arguments of it. People, when they want to, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I find that happens a lot. No, I'm willing to concede that point, Affable Sage, that it's there was a lot of complexity going on there, but that there is a desire in very strong socialism, not societal safety nets, but strong socialism leading on to communism, that, yeah, any kind of competing authority source is looked down on. And the further you get down that path, as a general historical trend, leads towards irreligiosity promoted by the state because they don't want competing authority sources. Okay, I'm done tossing my word salad. So.
I have an alternative theory to what it is we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So what if it was more so, or less so about ideological dominance and more so about economic dominance, just flat out, right? Because socialism sees control of the means of production, you know, lots of control of the money, make sure that people all have their little pockets of gold equally. But then the church usually pretty, standardly dictates that you have to tithe to them every week or so, at least 10% or whatever it is that you can give, right? So that's pulling from the market a little bit. And so perhaps it could be just an effort to single-handedly wrestle the economic market. Because if your money is not going towards this, the economic balance is disrupted, versus if it's exclusively, I'm not an economist, can you guys tell? Versus if it's exclusively just going towards the country and production and bread lines or whatever, then it's a little bit more stable, and the people blame less on the government for being impoverished, or maybe more. I don't know. But it's an idea. It's a half-formed idea, but it's an idea.
One might say half-baked.
Like the bread line.
That you stand in lines for under communism.
Okay, so my friendos, I unfortunately I have to go.
I do too.
Earlier than I normally do, and I know Eve also has to go a little bit.
Because I should have started my stream 15 minutes ago. So
exactly. But
I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm not rushing. I'm not being mean to y'all.
Well, no, I'm rushing because I had to get Balik food 15 minutes ago because he's sick and dying.
You say you're irreligious and you just declared yourself a Russian.
What?
What? No, I said I am rushing.
I know, but you said it fast. You said I'm Russian. What was I supposed to do? Leave that alone? Come on.
You're right. No, but to be quite frank, I am Slavic. So we're gonna wrap this up. Unfortunately, we can't do question times, but we will be back same time, same place. What else do I say at the end of these things? Fuck.
Can I shill a thing?
You can shill a thing.
So,
shill faster, damn it.
Well, I mean, there's links in the description to my stream, which I will be going and starting right after this. We're playing StarCraft tonight. So come over there if you like video games and you like hanging out with people like me. We don't talk politics or anything over there. We just chill and hang out and have fun. But there's also a new streaming show that I'm starting with, if you guys know Talita Constantine. You may have seen her around. I'm trying to get her to circulate and saturate herself more in with you guys, and so you guys know who she is and what she's about more. But there is the link. We're calling it S&M Say No More. It's going to be a kind of discussion stream, a little bit like Polly and Weebo do here on Cocktail Hour.
Sorry, you can't copy us.
I'm totally not copying you. I'm actually really not copying you. But we're gonna have guests. We're gonna have
for pro tips earlier this week about how
I asked you for tips.
One. Did you know that? I'm not. I swear.
I asked you for tips because you've done these kinds of things before.
Yeah, but I'm not good at it.
Yeah, you are. You're better than me. You've done it. So that's like Anyway, so we're starting this new stream over here on the YouTubes, and we would appreciate if y'all came by. We're gonna have guests. We're gonna have theme nights. We're gonna have articles that we read, and we're just gonna sit there and shoot the shit and hang out with people in chat who come by to watch us. So yeah, just hit that link and hit that subscribe button, and we'll let you know when we have our first episode. So it should be here soon. I want to do our first episode sometime this next week, but we'll see.
Before we go, thank you to Manic for the donation on the super chats, for the little dancing emoji thingy. He's wearing a samurai suit and saying I'm number one, because I most certainly am number one. Let's get that straight, ladies and gentlemen. Polly, do you have anything that you would like to show?
Yes, and I'm going to rifle through it real fast. There is the link to my channel where Jack, Inquisitor, and myself do comic book curation every Wednesday. We're back up on it, and it's fun. It's fun to be back, and I've gotten a bunch of DMs from people saying they're glad we're back. So yay! So roughly around 8 or 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, where we talk everything in and around comics. Manic over on the Streamlabs also donated $10. Thank you very much, Manic. Potato Fund also. It's a dog cat fox, and he lives with Scribe on the moon, Polly. And that's actually my favorite sticker of all the stickers, is the little Japanese. I insist on calling him a fox in samurai armor. I think that's the best one. It's so hilarious.
Adorable. I love him.
But Yeah, you can check out Eve's stream, and then because that's awesome. But Pincalo also mentioned that Blind in the Special is coming up really quick, so you can watch either one of them after the fact. I end up doing that, watching streams after the fact all the time.
Same.
And I'm on a shill fest. YouTube is great for streaming content. I love it because you can listen in the background when I get sick of whatever audiobooks that I've already gone through, whatever. Then I listen to streams when I'm driving and shit like that. So check out your boy Pat's channel, Psycho Rick, and he's got his own streaming channel now. So there's all sorts of good shit on there. Your boy Pat's content is always sweet. And then Next 6 Minutes, who's always in chat. He does live streams, and I was over there for the last one. He had Irving Twin on, and it was entertaining. Lots of chill conversation over there. So there's so much stuff to check out, guys. Yeah, and there's Next 6 Minutes right there in chat. So by all means,
I would also
my oldest friend on YouTube. Actually, did you know that?
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Six is cool. He's the coolest. So yeah, to go check out his streams. They're always like extremely laid back. Like they're not as laid back as Noir Bar over on my channel, but what do you expect? I mean,
it's a little shill jam. All right, we're gonna wrap this up, but I will be shilling that. Oh, sorry. What?
I was gonna say one more thing I wanted to shout out was Golden Age Radio, who I've been arguing there in chat with all night. We do a stream over there with him, and me and Tally do on Wednesday nights. So you should all come over there and subscribe to that channel and come hang out with us there too. So
okay, cool. Last thing that I want to show tomorrow, I will be reposting, or I will be putting up a repost from the Weebo Incognito channel, but then later this week I'll be having, and I'm gonna hold myself to this, later this week, I don't have a date yet, but I will be doing the Paris stream. I will also be uploading a normal video too.
Will you though?
I will be.
Well, and I was also reminded that whenever you bug me about the collab, that you should be reminded of your Men of the MCU as well as your Paris video. So
I am working on that. The Paris video, it's actually going to be the stream, so that'll be this week. But the Men of the MCU, that takes time because I still have to watch all the rest of the movies from the last 20 years. So that will take time, but it is getting done. Never fear. Without further ado, ladies, gentlemen, robots, and aliens of the jury, thank you for joining me on this lovely cocktail hour evening, and we will see you here next week, same time, same place, same face. I don't know. Polly, you're gonna be here, right?
Maybe.
I was only not here once, and there was a car crash involved. For God's sake!
I know. I teased.
And it was great because she asked me to fill in for you that one time. So
yes, yes. Okay. Without further ado, thank you for joining us, chat. Thank you to all who donated to me, Polly, Eve. I almost forgot everyone's name. I don't know what's going on with me today.
You only have 2 other names to remember, Weebo. Come on. And they're written on the screen.
I think I'm stroking out. I honestly do. Thank you so much to those who watched, who are going to like and share this and comment and subscribe, maybe even to my lovely 2 co-hosts. So enjoy. I love you all, and I'll see you when I see you next. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for the donations.
Thank you.